Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Dear students, I hope all of you are well. By the grace of Almighty Allah, I am also well. Welcome to our online platform of NIVS Home School. Here I am Muhammad Faruk Hossain, Assistant English Teacher of National Ideal English Version School. Now, I am going to conduct an English second paper class for the students of class 8, and our today's topic is changing voice or voice change. So dear students, you know that to change voice we need to know a lot of things. So let's come to the board. Voice is basically the speech what I said, that is a voice. Voice are of two kinds. One is active and another is passive. Active means if I say to you that go and bring a glass of water, that is active. That means the subject do the action, and in passive the subject or the speaker do not do the action. It seems to that the object, the work is being done through object. So object is the object plays the basic role in passive voice. Okay, such as if in active I say that I eat rice, then on passive it would be rice is eaten by me. Rice is eaten by me. By this you can know that the object, it seems to everyone that the object plays the vital role. Okay, this is the basic distance between active and passive sentences of this voice. Now at the time of changing voice we need to know about person. What person? Person, you know that person are of three kinds. I and we are the first person, you is the second person, and third person, he. Third person are of two kinds. One is singular and other is plural. He, she, it, any name is the third person singular number, and they is the third person plural number. Okay, and first person, in first person we get I and we. So I has objective form. I objective form is me. I, its subjective form, objective form me. Then we, us. Then you, then he, him, she, her, it, they. Dear students, these two are first person. You is only second person, and he, she, it, and any name. Any name, for writing any name I am erasing it. Imagine that Rana, then Ranai. Rana's objective form is Rana. Okay, then they, them. So dear students, you can see that it's third person singular, and this is third person plural. They is only third person plural number. Okay, you know that in this case, if this subject he, she, it, any name, it starts with the sentence, on that time we need to add additional s with the verb. Okay, and other case it does not seems to the same. So this is the changes of the person. If you find anything in subjective form, so it's you need to know its objective form. Okay, this is the changes of subject. Then tense, it's very important for you at the time of changing sentence in voice, you have to bear in mind that for the case of two tenses, you don't find any auxiliary verb, and that two tenses are present indefinite tense and past indefinite tense. So, what is used here in present and past indefinite tense? We have to use am or is or are at the place of auxiliary verb, and after that we have to use the past participle form of the verb. In passive sentence, we always have to use passive form, and we have to change the auxiliary verbs from one tense to another tense according to its rule. So, in present tense, in the case of indefinite tense, we have to use am or is or are, but in all continuous form we have to add additional being. Okay, and add additional being, what kind of being? That means for the case of present indefinite tense, present continuous tense, we have to use am being or is being or are being. After that we have to use the past form of the, past participle form of the verb, main verb. Then for the case of past continuous tense, we have to use, you know that past continuous tense active form contains subject plus was or were, then plus v ing, then object. Then for the case of this tense, I told you that for the case of all continuous tense we have to add additional being, and for the case of all perfect tense we have to use additional been. Okay, try to bear in mind all continuous tense have to add additional being, and all perfect tense we have to add additional been. Okay, so what would be the passive form of past for future perfect tense? So that would be subject, object, subject, then shall or will, have, then been, then the past participle form of the verb. Okay, I am telling you again that all continuous tense contains an additional being with that auxiliary verb of the active structure, and all perfect tense contains additional been with their auxiliary verbs, and after using these auxiliaries we have to use the past participle form in the passive form. Passive form contains always the past participle form of the main verb. Okay, so this is the change of tense. I am erasing this. Now we have sentence. Sentence, if you find any assertive sentence, today we will discuss about assertive sentence and interrogative sentence. If you find any assertive sentence, then it would be very much easy for you to answer, such as they play. Dear students, it's an active form and they play football. You know that it's assertive sentence. So to change the voice of any assertive sentence is very much easy. In passive form, they play football. What is its object and subject? They is the subject, play is the main verb, and football is object. And they play football, it's present indefinite tense. Okay, so I told that at the case of present indefinite tense, which auxiliary verb will be used. I told that for the case of present indefinite we have to use am or is or are. Okay, so first of all, at the time of doing passive, we have to convert the object of the active sentence into its subject, object, subject. So football is a thing, not any person, so it will be like the same. It does not need to change any person, although it's a thing. If it were any person, then we have to use that person into its subjective form. Imagine that it was me. They gave me a pen. Imagine that they gave me a pen. On that time, me would be converted as I, okay. Then here football would be object and this object will be changed into subject, football. Then I told you that at the case of present indefinite tense we have to use 3 auxiliary verbs, am, is or are. Football contains is. Football is, then the main verb. The main verb. I told you again that, I am telling you again that at the case of passive form, we always have to use the past participle form of the main verb. So, football is played, then by from rules, they is the subjective form and we have to use its objective form. So, this objective form is, I write it before them, okay. This is the answer. Another example, father gave me a pen. It's active. Dear students, first after getting this sentence, first of all you will see that in which tense it's written. Father is the subject, gave is the verb, me object and this pen is also object. So object I am writing. So in this tense, in this sentence you may do by following 2 rules. Okay, first of all I am writing that father gave is the past participle, past form of the verb. So subject plus verb's past form then object. So it must be past indefinite tense, okay. So for the case of past indefinite tense I told you which auxiliary verb will be used here, and in this, for the case of this sentence we can use 2 forms, by using this object at the beginning or by using this object at the beginning. I will do both for you. First of all, me is the objective form of I write it before and now I have erased it. Me is the objective form of I. So I would be at the beginning, okay. I, then I contains what? Auxiliary verb. Past indefinite tense, for the case of past indefinite tense I told you that was or were. So I contains was. Then the main verb. What is the main verb? Gave. I told you before that always past passive form always contains the past participle form of the verb. So I was, give, gave, given. Then another object, a pen by father, okay. This is one, or you may do it in another rule, or this time we use this as subject and now we will use a pen as object, okay. So although it's written a pen, so a pen will not be changed because it's not any objective form or it has not any subjective form. So a pen would be as the same, a pen. Then auxiliary verb. What was auxiliary verb? Was or were for the case of past indefinite tense. So we have to use a pen, after that we have to use auxiliary verb. A pen also contains was, then main verb, I told you that, then object. A pen was given, another object, me. A pen was given me by whom? By father, okay. This is the rules of changing assertive sentence from active to passive. Dear students, this is all about assertive sentence. I will discuss more on the other sentences in the next classes. Up to that, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.